Hey, it's Rick Kahn from rickcahn.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to test Facebook ad creative using a process that I personally use to test multiple ad creative campaigns. Now specifically, I'm going to show you everything you'll need to know so you can go with confidence when creating your very own test campaigns for your ad creative. So saying that, just to address what is ad creative on Facebook. Basically, it's the visual representation of your hook or angle in your copy, and it's contained at the ad level. So basically, when people scroll on Facebook, one of the second things that they'll see after your copy is the image or video that grabs their attention. And getting the right image or video is essentially one of the keys to getting the highest conversions for your ad. So let's start with getting into the frameworks, because before you start testing for ad creative, you always want to make sure you have a Facebook testing framework, and make sure you have it in a way that doesn't conflict with any current winning campaigns that you're running, or even getting it mixed up with other campaigns, such as if you're retargeting. And for more on structuring and frameworks, you can also click in the description below where I go into a deeper dive on this topic. However, when testing ad creative, here's a quick framework you can use, which is to make sure to separate this campaign into the testing phase. You want to isolate all your testing campaigns, because if you don't, it can potentially bring down the performance of your winning campaigns, and it can also mess your data up and it'll be difficult to track. So to create the best framework, keep it separate, and secondly, it'll also depend on your budget. So a unique structure that I created is called BCT, or Budget Creative Testing. Basically, if you have a budget of more than $100 a day or more, you can use between 2 to 3 campaigns with 2 to 10 ad sets, running around up to 2 to 6 different creatives in each of the ad sets. Now, you don't want to have more than 6 ad creatives within an ad set, because just having too many ads can jam the algorithm and can mess up your results. So don't overdo the amount of creative testing. And if you're running less than $50 a day, then the amount of creatives you test will be limited. So optimize using BCT, which will look like this: 1 or 2 campaigns with 2 to 3 ad sets and with 2 to 3 ad creatives, making sure that you distribute your ad spend as efficient as possible. Now, here's the thing with this. Within these creative testing frameworks, you want to also make sure that all your angles and copy, they're all remaining the same, because all your testing is only the creative and nothing else. If you make any other changes, you just won't really know what worked. So how should you set up the budget in Facebook? Now, when testing, I recommend that you do not use CBO. You want to make sure you have full control of the costs and how you distribute your ad spend, so make sure to set your budget at the ad set level, or ABO. And then later, when you start finding winning campaigns, you can then start using the CBO campaigns. So next, what should you do after your test launch? Now, after you set everything up, all you have to do at this point is just wait. You wait at least 3 to 4 days before checking the data, and let your budget spend across your ad sets before doing anything. I just leave my ads to run for at least 7 days, or until it reaches the goal of my average order value. So next, what to do with the results after you've waited. Now, if you find you have a winning creative, the number one thing to do is leave it alone. Don't touch that ad set, just let it run, because any changes could potentially mess it up. So just leave it alone, and as time goes by, it will most likely start to dwindle. And when it does start to dwindle, what you want to do here is turn off the ad creative that's not working at the ad level within your ad set, and let all of your ad spend go to the best performer. But also, when you have a winning ad, here's what else you should do, which is scale it. Now, I scale this without touching the original campaigns. I take the winning ad and duplicate it at either the ad set level, or I just duplicate the campaign and remove all the losers within the ad set of that campaign. I then start with a higher budget of around 50% or even doubling it and let it run. And if you have ads that aren't performing, all you do is just simply shut it off. Quite easy. So what metrics should you focus on for a winning creative? Now, I personally only ever focus on 3 numbers. I don't want to clog my data, I don't want to get messy, and I've always found simplicity always wins. So only focus on the numbers that move your business forward, such as your cost per acquisition, which means how much it costs to acquire a customer, and focus on average order value, which means if you have multiple products within your funnel, what's the average purchase price across all your products? And finally, a key metric is the cost per lead. How much is it costing you to acquire a lead if you're running leads? But again, in all honesty, even if I'm running ads for leads, I still focus on the end result of my cost per acquisition. So here's my final thoughts when testing ad creative. You see, I'm all about just don't overthink things and don't overcomplicate. You don't want to spend too much time figuring all this out. I've run many campaigns where I literally took 10 different random pictures and threw them up as quickly as possible, and I got really good results. Because ultimately, you'll never know how the market responds, and what you think is good might not be good for your audience. So run with what you have and find out how the market responds and do it fast. And another final thought on this is this. If you're a small brand with a low budget, I personally would put my focus more on your angle and hooks and test your copy with minimal creative, running with conversion campaigns, and then later, as you expand your budget, then you can start optimizing more to bring your ad cost down and get the best return on investment. Now, as usual, have I left anything out? Just let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And until then, I'll see you in the next video.